Ready. Play.
All right, Alex, thanks for joining Talking
Thank you
Tennis
for having me.
today. Thank you. First thing is just tell us about your win that you had yesterday in the singles.
Well, it was a tough win, definitely. A lot of challenges with the weather, changing conditions. So I think it was a great way to start off the clay season.
Cool. Talking of clay, where are we at with your game and your preference? Clay, grass, hard? What's your sort of preferred condition?
I prefer hard court. It's the one I grew up in, and I think my game naturally is more suited to that. But I've been, of course, I've been playing on clay for a long time as well. It's true that the clay season is shorter, much shorter than the hard season, but you know, I love clay, and I'm just, you know, trying to get it to love me back.
Good. You're going to be playing Udvari next. Do you know much about her? And tell us what you're thinking ahead of that match.
I've seen her around quite often. I've never played her before, but I think that's adds to, you know, the excitement of the match. But, you know, trying to go in with the same mindset as the match before, trying to stick with my shots and trust my tennis.
Doubles with Katie today. Of course, you lost, but you beat her in Miami. Did you talk about that match at all?
No, we haven't. She did congratulate me on, you know, that whole week, and she's a great sportsman. I think she's super nice, and we get along well. So I really enjoyed that doubles, even though we couldn't end up taking the win. But it's fun with her. Yeah.
How has life changed since that Miami run for you, or has it not changed at all?
A lot has changed technically, but I don't really feel, at the same time, not much has changed. It's hard to explain. I've had the same work ethic since I was young, so nothing in terms of how I go about my day has really changed. Of course, there's a big difference between last month and this month in terms of my results, my ranking, but when you focus on the things that, you know, I need to focus on, there's nothing much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel any more pressure?
I think it's normal to feel some pressure after a big run like this. But tennis is a game that has a lot of pressure in whichever moment that you're in your life, and I think that I've done the best I could with my mentality and talking with my team about how I can handle it, and hopefully that shows on court.
The win over Iga, is that the best moment of your career so far, would you say?
Of course. I think all of those, all the wins that week, and even the match against Jessica was such important moments in my life.
Yeah, sure. What about this? World number one or Grand Slam, if you could choose one?
Grand Slam.
Okay.
Hands down.
Which one?
Wimbledon.
Okay. Nice.
But both. I mean, if I could, I would choose both. Yeah.
Well, of course. Yeah. Okay. Have you heard about these comparisons maybe with Leylah Fernandez? I mean, obviously in terms of your game, you're both lefties. You both sometimes take the ball early. Are you familiar with these comparisons, and how do you feel about that?
No, I'm not really familiar with those comparisons, but I think Leylah's a great player. Obviously, she did the final in US Open a couple of years back, so she's a trailblazer in her own way. I think I'm not so close with her. We've had a couple of interactions, but she seems like a nice girl, so not mad about that comparison at all. She's a good player.
Have you got a favorite shot? If I'm going to give you a shot, and this is match point to win Wimbledon, what is it?
That's a good question. They asked me which one I prefer the other day, forehand and backhand. I was also kind of on the edge. I would say maybe a backhand cross court.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cross court winner.
But yeah, I don't know. It really depends. There's so many things that can happen during the match. Depends on the opponent, the court. But yeah, I think that one has been there from the beginning. Like now, I definitely have a lot of weapons aside from that that I've been working on, but I feel like that backhand just came natural from the beginning. Yeah.
And have you ever dreamt and then you fall to the grass, for example, at Wimbledon? Have you ever dreamt about that?
I think everybody's dreamt of that. Yeah, I have. So yes.
All right, I'm going to show you some pictures now, and I want you to tell me the first thing that kind of comes into your mind or just some of your thoughts. So.
Oh, yeah, this was, I believe, in Florida,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken. I won like the Little Mo Grand Slam. It was, you had to get that trophy. The trophy, as you can see, is bigger than I am.
Yeah.
It was like the tallest trophy ever presented in junior tennis or something like that. That was a big thing, and we had to take it apart and ship it back home in a box. Yeah, so I bet that was difficult for my parents, but there's my brother as well. He competed also, and he was like 2 points away from winning that same trophy.
Oh.
Yeah, but such a happy memory in my young childhood. Yeah.
Do you ever think about some of these moments when you're on the court? Do you ever think about your childhood? Do you ever think about something like this?
No, on the court, no, I don't think about it. Definitely comes to mind when I start reminiscing on my whole journey, on what I've achieved in the past month. But on the court, it doesn't pop
Cool.
into my head. Yeah.
Okay, Amazon Prime documentary, that's what this... Because this is when I first became aware of you. What are your thoughts now, a few years later, on that?
I don't know. I think a lot of people got to know me through this documentary. So obviously a big privilege to be part of that. A lot of people will come, oh, are you the girl from Amazon Prime? Yes, that's me. So now hopefully I'll be known for more things than that.
For sure.
But this is it's so nice to have these memories and these moments captured on camera.
Yeah, cool. US Open junior title. I was there when you won that.
You were there?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yeah, just as a fan, but yeah, I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was such a precious moment. I feel it was so full of emotion, and yeah, I started crying, and I feel like, of course, Junior Grand Slam doesn't guarantee anything for the future, but it's a huge achievement, you know, and it's still a decoration, you know. I think just the word Grand Slam and to win it in those courts, I feel, representing my country, it was a big deal. Yeah.
Cool. Actually, representing your country is something I want to speak to you about, because this image here is sort of also about being from the Philippines and being a professional tennis player. What does it mean?
Yeah. I feel like the biggest advantage of representing my country is the community, you know, and the pride that I'm able to bring when I do well to my people, and they come out, they support, they really make the effort. So I'm so appreciative. Yeah.
Cool. Next one is graduation from the Rafa Nadal Academy. Obviously, Iga and Rafa were there present. What did that mean to you when that happened?
I was super excited because every year I would see who was the celebrity guest or who was the guest speaker at each graduation. And I remember there was Roger, I think Pau Gasol was there one year, and I was so excited when it was Iga, because she had just come off a slam win or something.
Yeah, I think the
Roland
French Open
Garros,
was the week before, because Rafa just lost to Novak, I remember.
Yeah, I remember, and no, it was super happy, and I think Iga told me that I remember that she said she'll see me around on tour, and I was like so excited, you know, and it happened. Yeah, it definitely happened.
She did see you around. This is after the win against Iga.
I know. I've watched that video so many times, and it's just so heartwarming. I really tried to just stay in the moment and remember everything, how it felt to be there. But funny story, like I can't really remember anymore. Like I can't really remember what I saw or that moment right after the ball went out. So, but
do you remember how you were feeling or thinking on match point, or is it almost like you're watching just the video and you don't remember it?
No, yeah, I do. I remember. Yeah, I think I felt
It was on the turn, right?
Yeah, normally when match point comes against these big players, you know, you're trying to get yourself to stop thinking about what would happen if you win, because, you know, but those thoughts didn't come to me at all during the match. I feel I was in a state of such focus that, you know, and I couldn't really believe it when I won. Yeah.
Cool. Then this went viral. This moment that you had afterwards, where obviously you'd lost to Jessica, but you know I was watching this on TV and I thought, wow, this is amazing. I mean, obviously, hopefully you can have more of this. But again, what do you remember about this few minutes after you'd lost to Jessica?
This was such a sweet moment for me. Let me tell you, I'm definitely not normally like this when I lose.
No.
But this was definitely a special circumstance. I remember the last couple of match points, I was able to save a match point, you know.
Yeah.
And I just tried to prolong the match as long as I could because I knew that this is where I wanted to be. And then after I sat down, after the handshake, I looked up and just so many flags of the Philippines and so many Filipinos. It was past midnight, they were there to stay, and I had just had the best run of my career so far. So there was so much to be happy about in that moment, yeah.
Cool. So that's that. Now, this is quite recently, I believe. I think this is after your run. But also I want to know about Rafa and the influence both his academy, but even Rafa as a player has had on you.
Well, I've been there since I was 13, so obviously deeply rooted with the academy. Rafa has been a role model, you know, someone to look up to for so long, and I think the values match the values that the academy instills matched with the values that my family had when they were raising me. So that's why they felt so comfortable to send me over there. And of course, they're, you know, they have a part in a big part in my game. Yeah.
And Rafa the player?
Rafa the player.
Did you enjoy his career? Or were you a fan?
Of course. I don't know who doesn't enjoy Rafa as a player. I remember I watched him one time in center court in French Open when I was young. So before even going to the academy, and it was just, it's crazy to see the intensity he has and the way he hits the ball. So much to look up to.
Cool. Yeah. What about here in Werash? What would it mean? I mean, you've not won a WTA title yet. You know, what would that mean potentially if you were to have a good week here, for example, and maybe even lift the trophy?
It would mean a lot. I think right now what I need is a lot of hours on court, a lot of hours playing at a level that, you know, a level that I'm happy with and a level that I know I'm capable of. So this is a tournament that will help me do that.
Cool. Last question. I'd like to know about some sort of future goals, maybe even just for 2025. Okay. Do you look at sort of things like, you know, obviously you're going to be in the slam draw, you're going to be in the main draw now at the French Open. Perhaps that was a goal. But what about now? Because the goals never end, right?
Of course. No, of course. My original goal for 2025 was to finish in top 100 or at least to touch it. And now that I have touched it, it's a lot of new territory for me. So I'm trying to take it match by match, and I feel that's also why this tournament is important, because I'm coming off from such a good week, and I'm starting the clay season. So I give myself the space to figure it out, and then we'll see what my next set of goals are. I'm sure my team already has their own set of goals, but personally, I want to see how the situation unfolds.
But is winning a title, just a title of, whether it be 125, 250, is that one of the next goals?
Yes, of course. You know, you always go into the tournament with the mindset that you can win it, and some tournaments maybe there's a lower chance of that happening, and some tournaments maybe there's a higher chance, but you'll always have a chance.
I do have one more actually. Did Miami surprise you? I mean, you said coming into a tournament, you know, you feel as though you have a good chance maybe of having a good run, but did you expect the semi-finals there?
No, I did not. So yes, it did surprise me. I think Miami 1000 is WTA 1000 is one of the tournaments where I had the lower chance of holding the trophy, but I'm so proud that I was even able to come close, and the way I did it, I had such a tough draw.
I know.
So I had a tough draw.
I know.
really had a tough draw.
I mean, you had
I didn't
Madison
even, I
Keys.
didn't even,
Sorry.
yeah, I didn't even realize, because you just look at the first, you know, you're trying to get through one obstacle at a time, and after I passed each one, I'm like, it's just getting harder.
Yeah. Because it was Madison, Iga, and Jessica, wasn't it? And then
Yeah,
you know,
I had Yelena, I had Katie,
Yeah, Yelena as well.
I had Madison, and then Badosa, who unfortunately
yes.
withdrew, and then Iga, and then Jessica.
It was
and then
just
if
grand-
I had won, it would
Yeah.
have been Arena. So, you know, it's so funny to look back on. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to try to pass the ball.
Go. Sorry. Thank you, Alex.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
And if you're wondering what this little thing is, well, let me tell you now, whether it be tea, coffee, or merely water, it tastes so much better from a talking tennis mug. And you know what? They can be yours if you wish to purchase one from our website. We've also got bags and stickers and hoodies and notebooks. Mira Andreeva. T-shirts as well, of course, coming in both black and white. And we've got a classic jumper for you as well, and many, many other things for you to purchase for excellent prices so you can look like some of the coolest people on the tour. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Suzan Laymans, and I'm a friend of the show.
My name is Zainab Samas, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready. Play.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is in the world, wherever you are tuning in from. We are here to watch Leylah Fernandez against Suzan Laymens. Suzan Laymens, of course, friend of the show, as you just heard, here on the grass courts in Nottingham. And it's already, by the way, 27 degrees Celsius in Nottingham. And Leylah Fernandez has held, by the way, for 1 love. And she held 2 love as well. She didn't get to lose a point in the opening game of this particular encounter. Leylah Fernandez, of course, the number 5 seed. This is the first time that these two players are meeting as well. And I think it's quite an exciting encounter, actually. One that could go either way. Obviously, Leylah maybe has slightly more, not quite experience, but certainly has more of a name in the game than Suzan does. And be interesting to see how Suzan's pretty aggressive game style does on the grass this year. Leylah, of course, maybe not quite so well known for her grass court pedigree, but let's see how this season pans out for her. Of course, Leylah has been as high as number 13 in the world rankings, which she achieved in August 2022. So that's a year after that she made the US Open final. Her best ever runs at Wimbledon have been the second round, both last year and the year before. So yeah, her pedigree, certainly on grass at the Slams, is nowhere near like it is in New York or even the French Open, where she's made the quarterfinals in the past. Suzan Laymans here off to a good start on her serve, by the way. 30 love, she leads. And on the backhand here of Laymans, lovely left-handed forehand down the line. It's going to be defended, though, by Laymans. And Laymans is still defending. Laymans is still defending. And wow. Nevertheless, Leylah should have put that volley away. But the defense there from Suzan Laymans was out of this world. Lovely to see somebody else has hit that subscribe button. Please do so as well. And Suzan Laymans is on the board, 1 game all. And it's love 15 here on the Leylah Fernandez serve. Okay, and it's now 15 all. Leylah winning the next point. Later on today, by the way, we will have a couple of shows for you on the channel. We'll have a doubles review as we reflect on the French Open doubles, both, of course, or all the 3 disciplines, the mixed, the women's doubles, and the men's doubles. And we'll also have WTA Weekly as we reflect on Tatiana Maria's incredible run to the Queen's title at the age of 37. The Queen of Queens, as she described herself afterwards. And I think Laymans just went long there, so it is 30-15. And we'll also have a Berlin preview as well as part of that show. Interesting how Tatiana Maria is not playing Berlin. She's playing Nottingham this week. Thought that's kind of curious. And 30-15 soon becomes 40-15 for Leylah. And as she serves into the backhand of Suzan Laymens, forehand Leylah, is that going to be a winner? No, it's defended as well by Suzan Laymens. Drop shot there, though, is going to be too good. Even the magnetic, majestic Suzan Laymens was not going to be able to chase that one down. And Leylah Fernandez holds. So, change of ends, 2-1. We'll also have a watch-along tomorrow for Alexiala against Magdalena. So do stay tuned. And, yeah. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new and all that other jazz. You know the drill. What do we think, by the way, of some of the grass court tennis we've seen, both on the men's and women's tours? Tatiana Maria, of course, being the biggest headline last week, winning the Queen's WTA 500, the biggest title of her career at the tender age of 37. Also last week, of course, we had, or yesterday, Taylor Fritz beating Alexander Zverev yet again in a grass court final. Or yet again, 5 times in a row. Yesterday was on grass. Of course, he has beaten Zverev on grass before, like he did at Wimbledon last year. And what do we make of Taylor's chances ahead of Wimbledon? Is he in that sort of second group of favourites after Sinner, Alcaraz, and I think Djokovic can maybe be among that sort of first group? So is Taylor in the second group? And if he is he at the front of that second group? Maybe. Jack Draper will obviously have something to say about that as well. Okay, here we are on the Suzan Laymens serve. 1-2. Good depth there from Suzan. Now she's on the forehand. Into the forehand of Leylah. Has Leylah gone long? She has. So it's 15-love. And 15-love soon becomes 30-love. Love, though, becomes 30-15 as Leylah tries to get back into this service game of her opponents. Second serve as well to look at. In fact, it's going to be a double fault, so it's 30 all. Really, really wish I could be somewhere else. Backhand return from Leylah is not the cleanest, but nor is the drop shot from Suzan Laymans. And she goes for the sort of body shot, does Leylah, and it works. Suzan sort of turned away from it, but got a racket on it, but it flew up in the air and landed back on her side of the court. So we do have a break point here opportunity for Leylah Fernandez. Leylah on the slice there, but that slice is going to land in. So they're still in the rally. Good aggressive backhand cross court from Leylah, but we're still in the rally here as Suzan actually ups the ante herself. A slice drop shot is not going to work from Leylah, and Suzan Laymans punishes it and clenches her fist. Okay, backhand return here from Leylah. She's into the rally. Forehand from Leylah just over the net. Low net clearance there. And in fact, it's deceived Suzan Laymans. There was a pretty funny bounce off that one that you're only going to get on the grass, that's for sure. And it's another break point for Leylah Fernandez. Forehand return. Laymans comes into the net. Forehand passing shot effort from Leylah. And Leylah's broken. The cat and mouse effect at the net there. And she got the break. 3-1. Leylah Fernandez leads now. Yeah, Alex is playing tomorrow, Andy. I've just seen your comment. Okay, into the backhand of Suzan Laymans on that serve from Leylah Fernandez. They're into the rally right now. Forehand is into the net from Leylah Fernandez, so it's love 15. Love 15 becomes 15 all. Do give us a follow on Instagram, by the way, at Talking Tennis TT. Ball up and down, but it's going to be a second serve here for Suzan Laymans to look at here at 15 all. Backhand return from Suzan's into the backhand of Leylah. Backhand cross court goes into the net from Suzan Laymans, and it's now 30-15. And now she has 2 game points at 40-15, does Leylah? Okay, where are you going with this serve? You are going into the backhand of Suzan Laymans. Gets good depth there, does the Dutch woman. Now it's a slice from Leylah. Suzan on the attack. Suzan on the attack. Too good. 40-30. Too good. So, still one game point to go for the number 5 seed, Leylah Fernandez. Backhand return there, backhand cross court from Leylah Fernandez, and it's going to win at the point and the game. Clenched fist from the Canadian as she takes a 4-1 lead. It's a pretty commanding lead in this first set. Will it be enough? Well, we'll soon find out. But Leylah's looked pretty comfortable on her serve so far. Not yet faced a break point in her 3 service games. She munches on a banana. Yes, tomorrow we'll have Magda Lindet against Alex Ayala. That'll be on the channel as well as a watch along. We may well do Qinwen Zheng against Elena Rybakina. That's taking place in Berlin tomorrow. For those of you just tuning in, do hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please do hit subscribe. Probably get a poll up on the channel, shall we? So you can vote as to who you think is going to win this particular encounter. I guess right now, Fernandez will be a warm favorite. I think she probably would have been beforehand anyway, but now she's up a break in the first set. There we go. You can all get voting now in this poll. And it's Suzan Laymans who's going to return to the court and will be serving now at 1-4. First serve goes into the net as a second serve for Leylah to look at. We're up to 37 likes on YouTube. Let's see if we can get to 50 as soon as possible. Suzan Laymans goes long with that forehand there. She won't be liking that nor this video. Okay. So, love 15. Forehand return from Leylah, but it's going to clip the net. So it's going to be another first serve for Suzan Laymans. Forehand there into the backhand of Leylah Fernandez. Backhand from Suzan Laymans. Has that gone long? No, it hasn't. We're still in the rally. Suzan's on the attack. Suzan's on the attack. Is that backhand going to land in? It is. That was very good from Suzan. 15 all. Okay, forehand here from Laymans into the forehand. That's loose from Leylah Fernandez. A bit of a gift there. So it's 30-15. Now it's Suzan Laymans' turn to give a gift away. 30 all. 30 all. Double break here, and you would think that is that for the first set. But we're not there yet. And Suzan Laymans, that's a nice serve, 40-30. Game point for the Dutch woman. Okay, where's your serve going here? Into the backhand of Leylah. It goes into the net. Suzan Leyland holds 4-2. Little sticky moment there at 30 all, but a couple of decent serves has helped it's helped Leylah. Or even Suzan Laymans hold. 4-2 over to Leylah Fernandez now, 2 serve. Shows coming up for you include a doubles French Open review. We'll have that in a couple of hours. Or a little bit more, around about, I think it's about 5:45. Let me just have a look. (6:45) Central European time. So that's 5:45 British summertime. Oh, what a winner that is from Leylah Fernandez there. 15 love. Oh, we have a comment on YouTube. Oh, it's just the become a member of the Talking Tennis community. Yeah, hit the join button that you can see just below the screen, and you can enjoy perks such as bonus video material. Okay, 15 love. Down the tee, forehand return from Suzan. Into the body here, down the middle as both players go. We're on the forehand now of Suzan Laymans. She goes cross court into the backhand of Leylah Fernandez. Now she tries to change direction, but she misses. 30 love. Second serve here for Suzan to look at. Oh, double fault. 30-15. Second serve here, 30-15. Forehand cross court into the backhand of Suzan Laymans. Backhand again from Suzan. Good depth on these shots, and not such good depth there from Leylah, giving Suzan the chance to get up in this rally a little bit. But Leylah's defending quite well until she errs there with that forehand that went long. 30 all. Forehand return from Suzan Laymans is long. 40-30. So game point here for Leylah Fernandez. Ooh, and Leylah has missed that, so we're at deuce. So, Leylah does get the hold, though, for 5-2. Sticky situation there for Leylah too, but she got out of it. And so, 5-2. She's just one game away now from sealing this first set. When we return to the court, you'll have Suzan Laymans serving to stay in this first set and this first round encounter at the WTA 250 in Nottingham. It's all about that one break of serve, as so often is the case on the grass. Okay, 2-5. She serves into the backhand of Leylah. That's a good return from Leylah, is it? Or is it just missed? It might have just missed. Indeed, it did. 15 love. It was close to the line. But ultimately, it was out. Here we are into the rally. We're on the forehand of Leylah. She goes into the backhand cross court, as only a lefty can. Drop shot from Leylah. Is that going to work? Ultimately, no. 15 all. Sorry, 30 love for Suzan Laymans. Do get voting in our poll, by the way, as to who you think is going to win this particular encounter. She goes long on the first serve. Second serve here for Leylah to look at, but she's going to go into the net on the return. And so Suzan Laymans holds. Leylah will now serve for this set, though, at 5-3. Thank you for all of you who've hit that like button. I see we're up to 40 likes now on YouTube. We're into the rally here. Suzan Laymans goes cross-court with that forehand. Now she's on the backhand. Is she going to miss? No, she's not. Leylah's going to defend. It's going to be a tricky smash. It's not won the point yet. We're into the rally again. We're back at neutral pretty much, having had a smash there for Suzan Laymans. Leylah's defending again. Can she win the point here, Suzan Laymans? Yes, she can. Wow, what a point that was. Big applause from the crowd. Love 15. Okay, love 15 here. Second serve, love 15. Good serve there from Leylah, 15 all. She needed it there. First serve goes into the net from Leylah Fernandez. So second serve here, 15 all. Backhand return into the backhand of Leylah Fernandez. Now it's on the forehand of Suzan Laymans. Forehand Leylah left, of course. Now onto the backhand of Leylah Fernandez. She goes up the line, but Suzan Laymans is there for it. We're in the rally here. Slice there from Leylah. Well defended, though, by Suzan Laymans. Great depth there from Suzan. But then she misses on the backhand side. We've had some pretty epic rallies today, and that was another one. Ended in an unforced error from Suzan Laymans, that one. 30-15. And the upshot of it all is that Leylah Fernandez is 2 points away from winning the first set. Okay, 30-15. Where are you going with this serve? You're going into the forehand of Suzan Laymans. Now we're into the rally. Good depth there from Leylah Fernandez as she slices as well. Both players now slicing. Both players slicing. Both players slicing. Now it's Suzan Laymans goes cross-court with that backhand. Now she's slicing for the drop shot there. Leylah chases it down, but she's going to be in trouble. And in fact, Suzan Laymans does pass her at the net. 30 all. 30 all. So, 2 points away from breaking or 2 points away from winning the first set? What are we going to get, ladies and gentlemen? We're into the rally here. On the backhand side for Leylah Fernandez, there's low net clearance there from Leylah. A slice from Leylah. She has been slicing quite a lot today, and she's erred on the forehand side, and we are going to get a break point. I think it's the first one of the match for Suzan Laymans. So, breakpoint Laymans to get this step back on serve and give her a hell of a chance to win this first set. At 30 all, 2-5, things were not looking good for Suzan. Oh, it's a good serve, though, from Leylah, and Suzan Laymans can't deal with it. She goes into the tram lines on her return. Deuce. Okay, up and down. But I think that might have just clipped the net. So it's going to be another first serve here for Leylah. First serve clips the net. And lands in, I think. So it's going to be another first serve again for Leylah Fernandez. Remember, tomorrow on the channel, we will have Alex Ayala against Magdalena. So stay tuned for that. Hit that like button on this particular video. And of course, if you are new to the channel, please do hit subscribe. Okay, we're into the rally here. Forehand cross court into the backhand of Leylah Fernandez. But I think Leylah might have just gone long, and we're going to have another break point for Suzan Laymans. So, break point number 2 in this particular game. Decent serve from Leylah, but Suzan has dealt with it. Lovely backhand there, though, from Leylah Fernandez. Cross court. Wow. Deuce. Deuce, ladies and gentlemen. And now we have a set point. First one for Leylah Fernandez. It's on her serve. She saved 2 break points in this particular game, and now she has a set point of her own. How is this going to pan out? Where are you going to go with this serve, Leylah? Going into the backhand of Suzan Laymans. We're into the rally, but she'll be happy with that first serve. We're still in the rally, though. Forehand here from Leylah. Good depth on it. Drive volley was not easy, but we're still in the rally. A net cord in the favor of Suzan Laymans there. But we're in the rally. Drop shot from Leylah. That's not going to work, not outright, but it doesn't matter because Suzan Laymans can't punish it. Leylah Fernandez wins the first set by 6-3. And we will be back after a short break. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material, such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. All things tennis indeed. Let's bring up some of those stats for you from that first set. Of course, the most important stat of all is that Leylah Fernandez has won that first set by 6-3. Just looking at the withdrawals from Birmingham, quite a lot of withdrawals there. Anyway, yes, the stats that I promised you. Here we go. Six three, 2 aces apiece and 1 double fault apiece. Suzan Lamens is actually getting slightly more of her first serves in, but Leylah is winning 78% of her first serves. It's pretty good. And Leylah having 2 breakpoint opportunities and taking one of them, whereas Suzan, from her 2 breakpoint opportunities, which both came in that final game as Leylah was trying to serve out the first set, they came and went. And in the end, it was Leylah who got over the line, winning it 6-3. So, second set now underway with Suzan Laymans serving first, and it is 15 all. But it doesn't take long for Leylah to up the pressure a little bit by getting the next point to make it 15-30. So, Laymans here serving at 15-30. Ball toss goes awry. With this one, you're going to go into the forehand of Leylah, but she's not going to be able to deal with that. So 30 all. And now it's Laymans who gets a game point. Clenched fist from the Dutch woman. 40-30. She leads. She's not looking overly happy at the moment, but maybe that's just because she's lost that first set. And she had her chances. Okay, 40-30. Down the tee. Backhand return there from Leylah. Now it's on the forehand. On the backhand of Leylah goes down the line. Sorry. Good attacking play from Leylah and it wins at the point, and it's deuce. Deuce, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we're on the serve here. Good return there from Leylah, but decent there from Suzan Lamens. Now it's down the middle of the court. She's on the forehand. She goes into the backhand of Leylah Fernandez, who goes cross court. Good depth there from Leylah. And Laymans goes long on the forehand. It's going to be a break point opportunity already for Leylah Fernandez. Backhand here from Laymans. Forehand from Leylah has gone long, I think. Deuce. First serve goes down the tee, but it goes wide and long. So, second serve goes into the net. It's a double fault from Laymans. Break point opportunity again for Leylah Fernandez here. Forehand here from Laymans. Forehand from Leylah into the backhand of Laymans. Laymans goes cross court with that one. It's going to be tricky for Leylah. Leylah does something with it, but so does Suzan Laymans. And that's going to go well long there from Fernandez. So it's deuce. Here we are into the rally anyway. Forehand from Leylah is going to be mishit, but it's going to land in. So we're still in the rally here, but now it's Leylah's turn to err by putting that forehand into the net. Game point, Suzan Laymans. Feels like a huge game, this one. So Laymans serving here. Goes into the net on her first serve. We're into the rally here. Now it's Leylah Fernandez on the backhand. It's a good backhand cross court, but well defended by Suzan Laymans. And Leylah can't pick it up. And Suzan has held, finally, for one love. Big game, that one. Very important that Suzan didn't go down a set and a break. One love, she leads. Yes, so looking back on those first set stats, I guess it's just a case of Leylah being a bit more ruthless with her one break of serve. And also a healthy return there in terms of first serve points won at 78%. Curiously, Suzan Laymans won more points on her second serve than she did on her first. Just a reminder as well regarding Leylah and her grass court prowess. Wimbledon is the slam where she's struggled the most. She's never been beyond the second round there, where she's been to the third round in Australia. She's been in the quarterfinals in the French Open. And of course, memorably, she's been in the final at the US Open in 2021 before she lost that final to Emma Raducanu. So, Fernandez here serving. 15 love, she leads. There was a nice drop shot lob combo that worked for her well on that point. And she does go on to win the next point as well. So it's 30 love. Leylah Fernandez leads in this service game. Thank you for all the likes on YouTube, by the way. We're up to 44 likes. Let's see if we can get to 50 likes as soon as possible. So if you haven't hit the like button, please hit it now. With Leylah Fernandez here serving, she won the first set 6-3, and she's serving here at love 1, the beginning of this second set. She goes into the body there of Laymans, but Laymans runs around it for a forehand. But it's a lovely forehand winner down the line there from Leylah Fernandez to bring up 40 love. And Leylah holds for 1 game all. So, over to you, Suzan. Much more comfortable hold that was for Leylah compared to the Suzan Laymans epic. So, Laymans serving here at 1-all. Oh, Leylah's not looking happy about that line call. Anyway, 15 love, Suzan Laymans. But now 15 love becomes 15 all as Leylah Fernandez gets on the board in this game. Laymans here serves into the backhand of Fernandez. Good depth there from Suzan Laymans, and Fernandez errs on the forehand side, so it's 30-15 Suzan Laymans. Okay, now it's Fernandez on the attack. Can she put this forehand away? No, she can't. Can she put the volley away? Yes, she can. 30 all. $30 all here. Suzan Laymans to serve. She's going to miss that first serve, so it's going to be a second serve here for Leylah Fernandez to look at. Backhand return from Leylah has gone long, 40-30. $40-30 here. Leylah is going to get a second serve to look at because that first one went just wide. And it's deuce. Cristanto there supporting Leylah Fernandez from the Philippines. I think Leylah does have some Filipino background. Oh, and she's wrong-footed there, Leylah. Suzan Laymens forehand winner. Game point for the Dutch woman. Forehand return there from Leylah Fernandez goes into the net. Suzan Laymens holds for 2-1, and we will take a quick break. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material, such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. All things tennis indeed, ladies and gentlemen. As we return here to the court with Fernandez here serving at 1-2. She's had a few chances in this second set already to break the Layman serve, but Laymans has held on. And so it's Leylah's turn to serve at 1-2. Not quite yet at the 50 mark for likes. So please do hit that like button if you haven't done so already. It's just that thumbs up sign just below the screen. Okay, so Leylah Fernandez to serve, and she is going to toss it up but not hit the ball. Backhand return here from Suzan Laymens. They're into the rally because there was really good depth on both of those backhands, by the way, from Suzan. Now she's on the forehand. Loopy forehand that was. We're still in the rally here, but it's Laymans who goes long, backhand cross court. 15 love, Leylah Fernandez. Another viewer tuning in from the Philippines. Good evening, Isidro. Isidro, if you haven't already done so, please hit the like button, but also click subscribe, which is also something you'll see just below the screen where you can click subscribe. Oh, Leylah's come to the ground. She's won the point and she's laughing. So that's good. And she just confirms that she's okay. But she wins the point, 30 love. Let's have a look at this again. An amusing scenario. Leylah falls to the ground, wins the point, and ends up giggling. As a result, 30 love. If you hit subscribe, by the way, you will see that figure just above my head go up. Leylah Fernandez, 40 love, so 3 game points here for the Canadian. Clenched fist for her. And she goes big there with that forehand. 2-all. So over to you, Suzan Laymans, to serve. 2 games all. Thank you for whoever that was who just subscribed. And therefore, we just saw that figure. Just tick over by 1 more. Thank you very much. Can we get to 17,000 subscribers before Wimbledon? That gives us 13 days. Or 14 days. Wimbledon starts 2 weeks today. Anyway, Laymans here serving. 15 love. 15 love becomes 30 love as Leylah Fernandez nets. Morning, Jake. Do hit that like button, by the way. We're just 4 away now from 50 likes. Be good to get to 50 before the end of this stream. Backhand return here from Leylah. Now it's on the slice drop shot from Leylah, but that's not going to work out right as a winner. But is this lob going to work? Not exactly, but she's still kind of up in this rally. Now she's at the net. Can she put the volley away? Yes, she can. 30-15. Thank you for the person who just liked. I think it probably was Jake, but I could be wrong. We're now at 47 likes. 3 likes away from 50. Right. Leylah Fernandez will certainly like that volley, if not this video. 30-15. Well, you got to 48 likes now as well. 2 away from the 50 mark. So Laymans here serving at 30-15. Where are you going with this serve? You're going into the forehand of Leylah. Leylah's now up in this rally, is she? But that's a loopy backhand from her. She bends down. She goes for that one. I think she's just kind of waiting for an error here from Suzan Laymans, and she gets it on the forehand side despite that short ball. 30 all. 49 likes. Wow, that's pretty cool. Can we get one more? Who's going to be the 50th person to like this video? We're about to find out, I hope. Pretty optimistic now that we should get that one more like before this stream ends, bearing in mind we're still got some way to go in this second set. Who knows, we might get a third set yet too. Laymans here serving 30 all, 2 all. She's already fended off some break points in this second set. Backhand return from Leylah's decent, good depth on it, but then Suzan Laymans deals with it well. I'm waiting for the moment when I don't call her Suzan Laymans and just call her Laymans, but that's not happening yet. So Suzan Laymans wins the point, 40-30. 40-30, so a game point for Suzan Laymans. Lots of streams coming up today, by the way. We have a doubles review coming up in around about 4 or 5 hours from now with Will and Hanlon from the doubles tribe. Okay, and the forehand of Leylah. Okay, they're into the rally here. Of course, we've got a game point for Suzan Laymans. Oh, has that landed in? It has. Wow, Suzan Laymans. That must have been plumb on the line. 3-2. She leads now. I thought that was going out. I think maybe Leylah thought it was going out. I think we all thought it was going out. Alas, it didn't. Let's take a quick break. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material, such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. All things tennis indeed, ladies and gentlemen. We have here Leylah Fernandez serving at 2-3 in this second set. We will also have a watch along tomorrow for Alex Ayala against Magda Linette. In fact, I can share with you what we have on the horizon on the screen. Leylah Fernandez here, 15 love on her serve. Look, here we go. These are our 3 live streams that we have coming up over the next 24 hours. French Open doubles review, as I said, with Will and Hanlon from the Tennis Tribe. We have WTA Weekly with Nick and Mario in the hot seat there. And then tomorrow we'll have a watch-along for Alex Ayala versus Magda Linette. We may have a watch-along as well tomorrow for Elena Rybakina against Qin Wenjing. So lots of watch-alongs and live streams to come. As it is for now, we have Leylah Fernandez here serving at 30 love against Suzan Laymens, the WTA 250 in Nottingham round of 32 clash that now becomes 40 love. Leylah here looking very comfortable on her serve, as she has done really throughout this set. There was a sticky moment at the end of the first set when she was serving for it and had to save 2 break points before eventually getting over the line to steal that first set 6-3. Okay, 40-15 now, Leylah Fernandez. Two game points. Leylah here serving. Just coming up to 25 past 12 local time in Nottingham. Into the rally here, but Laymans nets on the forehand side, and it's 3-all, quick as you like. Is Dan Evans playing, Jake? Didn't even know. I knew he was playing this week, but didn't know he was playing right now. He's down 1-2 as well. To Francis Tiafoe at Queens. Backhand return here from Leylah Fernandez. But she's put that forehand into the net. 15 love. Yeah, so, France will be a warm favourite there, but you never know. Maybe Dan can turn it on. I mean, they're on serve at the moment, 1-2. Backhand here from Leylah. Leylah's on the defence. Leylah's on the defence. Is Suzan going to put this smash away? She's not. She puts the smash into the net, 15 all. How costly will that smash end up being? Backhand return, forehand from Leylah into the forehand of Suzan Laymens. Now it's on the backhand of Leylah Fernandez. She's staying on that backhand side. It's going to be a slice down the line. Now it's Suzan Laymens. She's going to attack this ball. Is she going to put it away? No, she's not. And she retreats to the baseline as well. Is Leylah Fernandez going to punish her? Maybe, maybe, maybe not. Now it's Suzan Laymens with a wonderful passing shot, by the way. That was an epic rally that whoever was going to lose that rally was going to have regrets, that's for sure. And in the end, it's Fernandez who gets passed at the net, so it's 30-15. Are we up to 50 likes yet on YouTube? We are 1 like away from 50. So please hit that like button. Okay, Laymans here serving 30-15. Forehand return from Leylah. Now she's on the defense. She's on the defense. She's being made to run around. Is that going to land in? Yes, it is. But Laymans is going to try and punish it, but she's going to miss. 30 all. 30 all, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Fernandez applying pressure to the Laymans serve. Welcome to you who've just joined. If you haven't already done so, hit that like button that you can see just below the word Nottingham. You can see the thumbs up. Please hit that like button and hit subscribe. Somewhere down below, it'll say subscribe. Backhand return here from Leylah. Backhand slice from Fernandez. Now it's Suzan Laymans going cross court. Now it's Suzan Laymans coming into the net to attack this with a drive volley. Is she going to put that away? Not quite, but she does put that volley away with consummate ease. 40-30, game point, Suzan Laymans. Okay, Laymans to serve. Where are you going? Into the forehand of Leylah. Backhand down the line from Suzan Laymans. Leylah on the defense. Good defense, though, from Leylah Fernandez. Now she's on the attack and she puts that forehand away. Deuce. Deuce, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Backhand return here from Leylah. Forehand from Suzan Laymans. Forehand, Leylah Fernandez. They're going cross court right now. Leylah with some good depth there on that backhand. Keep waiting for that slice from Leylah. It doesn't come, but it comes there in the form of a drop shot attempt, which doesn't work going into the net. Game point, Suzan Laymans once again for a 4-3 lead. Ooh, are we going to make 50 likes before the end of this stream? We need one more. Forehand return here from Leylah is pretty good. Backhand down the line is also pretty good. Got Suzan Laymans on the run, but she's dealing with it really well. What a forehand winner down the line that is, though, from Leylah Fernandez. Deuce. Wow. It's a hell of a forehand, that is. Look at the scream from Leylah. Deuce it is. Okay. Laymans here serving at deuce. Friend of the show. Goes down the tee. But I think it clipped the net, so it's going to be another first serve. Where are you going with this serve? You are going to go to the cross court this time. Leylah, though, on that backhand has missed. So it's a game point once again for Suzan Laymans. Laymans really struggling on her serve time in, time out at the moment, whereas Leylah is racing through her service games. That's been pretty much the story of this second set. But we are still on serve. 35 of you watching now on YouTube. So welcome. Okay. Laymans here serving at 3-all game point. Where are you going? You are going into the forehand of Leylah, and she's going to miss. And Suzan Laymans is going to hold for 4-3. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? How about that? 4-3. Once again, was a tough hold, but she got there in the end, and we'll take a quick break. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material, such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. All things tennis indeed. Leylah Fernandez here serving at 3-4. Frances Tiafoe up against Dan Evans over in London, with Tiafoe leading 3-2 on serve. Tiafoe approaching Evans's forehand, even though it's 60% more dangerous off the pass than what his backhand is. Got to understand the strengths of the player. Indeed. Just some breaking tennis news. Kvitova has withdrawn from Nottingham, the tournament we're obviously commentating on right now. So a right hip injury is the reason cited for Kvitova's withdrawal. And Starodubtseva is the lucky loser who will take her place. A Queen's update on the men's side, by the way, is that Arnaldi has had to withdraw. In comes O'Connell as the lucky loser, who will play Holger Rune. Okay, back to Lamens Fernandez. And Leylah is serving at 15-all in this round of 32 clash. Have we got to 50 likes yet on YouTube? No, is the answer. Anyway, 15-all here. Leylah Fernandez serving. I thought we just got to 50. Someone click 50 and unliked, I think. Anyway, we're very close. We'll get there. Don't panic. Especially if Laymans forces a third set. Okay, we're into the rally here on the backhand of Laymans. Lovely slice there from Leylah Fernandez. Is it going to help her win the point? It ultimately is 30-15, Leylah Fernandez now. What a rally that was, by the way. Had some pretty epic rallies today. Oakley dokley, where are we going with this serve at 30-15? Goes down the tee. That does land in, though, from Laymans. Now it's going to be a volley that she puts away, does Leylah. Lovely technique there at the net with that volley. 40-15, 2 game points. Again, looking pretty comfortable on her serve. It's been a set all about the Laymans serve and how much pressure Leylah can apply to it. (40-15). First serve goes into the net from Leylah Fernandez. That'll be disappointing for her at this point. Ooh, what is Laymans going to do with that return? She's going to put it into the net, and it's 4 games all. 4 all. Again, over to you, Suzan Laymans. Evans and Tiafoe remain on serve. Let's have a quick look at WTA Berlin as well. See what's going on there. We've got Dollarhide up a break already on Jabeur. Navarro has beaten Kostyuk 2 and 3. Siniakova has beaten Tomova 1 and 2. Ken and Masarova are about to take the court. Whilst we also have Badosa against Lise coming up later on today, and Mira Andreeva against Magdalena Frech. So that is WTA Berlin. Still early stages, isn't it, of course, over in London with Tiafoe against Dan Evans. Dan Evans, of course, getting a wild card there. Anyway, Laymans here serving 4 all. Leylah Fernandez will be disappointed with that forehand into the net. 30 love. There's a chance there for Leylah. And Leylah goes long, so we've got 40 love now. Okay, Suzan Laymans, 3 game points here. Goes down the tee, backhand return. Forehand from Laymans is into the, going to clip the net. She gets very lucky there. Suzan Laymans, a net cord that she doesn't apologize for. 5-4 she leads. Change of ends. And let's have a continued look around the tennis world. I'll share with you those scores from Berlin thus far, whilst I also then have a quick look. And also, look at this. Love 15 on the Tiafoe serve here for Dan Evans. Besties looked for a long time, says Jake, but famous last words. Let's have a look at ATP Queens as well, some of the other scores. Borges and Bautista Agut are on serve in the first set. Borges there serving at 3-4. Bruno Arnaldi, yes, has been cancelled because Arnaldi has withdrawn, but O'Connell steps in as a lucky loser. Later on today, we've got McDonald against Monfils, Norrie against Mensick, and Fernley against Bolt. Meanwhile, Borges 3-4 on serve against Bautista Agut. Bautista Agut, of course, a former Wimbledon semi-finalist, no less. Not to be sniffed at. Meanwhile, Jabeur against Dollarhide. Jabeur is down a break already on Dollarhide. I'm really starting to get a bit worried about Jabeur, if I'm honest, in terms of where the career is at. Just wonder if that Wimbledon 23 final, whether that was the stuffing knocked out of Hans. We'll see. Fingers crossed that's not the case. Also in WTA Nottingham, the 250 event that we're talking about right now, we've got some other matches going on as well, with Putin-Sava up a set and a break on Klugman, and Yastremska won the first set 6-4 over Danilovic. But as we speak, Danilovic does have a couple of great break points at 5-all on the Ukrainian serve. Okay, Fernandez here serving at 4-5. Into the rally. Good depth there from Suzan Laymans. Now on the backhand slice of Leylah Fernandez. Good defending here from Leylah, but she's going to have to keep defending more. She's going to have to keep defending more. And she can't keep up the defense, understandably so, with that onslaught from Suzan Laymans. And it's love 15 on the Leylah Fernandez serve. She is serving to stay in this second set. She has looked comfortable on serve throughout this second set thus far, but it was the same story in the first set, and it was only when she was serving for the first set that suddenly Leylah looked vulnerable. Backhand return in the backhand of Leylah Fernandez. We're into the rally right now, but Leylah is up in this rally. Leylah is up in this rally, but oh, she could have just let that one drop and it might well have gone out. Anyway, we're still in the rally here. One for you to think about a bit later on, maybe, Leylah. She's now on the defenses, Leylah, and she can't defend that forehand winner from Suzan Laymans. Love 30. Love 30. So, Fernandez under a bit of pressure here. Backhand return to the backhand of Leylah Fernandez. Forehand from Suzan Laymans is going to be too good. And Suzan Laymans brings up 3 set points. What a dramatic turn of events this could turn out to be. 3 set points for Suzan Laymans. First serve goes into the net from Leylah Fernandez. Second serve here for Suzan Laymans to look at. 3 set points. Backhand return. Back forehand from Leylah Fernandez is looking good, but it's not going to win her the point outright. She's going to let this one drop, though, and it goes out. 15-40. 1 saved, 2 to go for Leylah Fernandez. Okay, where are you going with this serve? You are going to go into the net with that serve. That's what you're going to do. Second serve, 15-40. Good depth on that second serve. Forehand goes into the net. Leylah Fernandez. Suzan Laymans wins the second set. Well, well, well. 3 sets it's going to be. So, we'll take a quick break. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material, such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered. Whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. All things tennis indeed. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the stats regarding this second set that we've seen Laymans take by 6 games to 4. So I'll share these with you on the screen right now. 3 double faults there from Suzan Laymans in that set, but it didn't cost her. Leylah again winning such a huge percentage of her first serve points, much less so on the second serve, but Leylah was applying a lot of pressure to the Suzan Laymans serve. Although there was only 2 break points in the whole set, she was often getting to 30 all and juices there, but ultimately wasn't able to break. Laymans, by the way, wasn't able to apply any pressure to the Leylah serve until that final game when she was at love 40, bringing up 3 set points, and she took it on the second chance of asking. Second chance of asking? Second time of asking. You know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen. Either way, we're into a third set, and it is Laymans once again to serve first, just as she did. And that may well have been a bit of a crucial moment in the fact that she served first in that last set, because, of course, it meant that Leylah had a bit of pressure there serving to stay in the second set, and she wasn't able to deal with it. Now it's Laymans serving first. And again, just like in that previous set, at the beginning of that previous set, Leylah had her breakpoint opportunities, but wasn't able to take them. And now we're at love 30 here on the Laymans serve at the beginning of the third set. And it's going to be a second serve for Leylah Fernandez to look at. The heating, Jake. So warm in Germany, by the way. It's like 27 degrees today. Yay! I think, unless my eyes deceive me, we are now at 50 likes. We've got 2 break points here for Leylah Fernandez, by the way, 15-40. We've got a poll, by the way, out there, and Leylah Fernandez is easily winning the poll by 90% to 10% in terms of who our viewers think is going to win this particular encounter. Well, she does have 2 break points here on the Laymans serve at the beginning of this third set. And it's a double fault from Suzan Laymans. There were 3 double faults in that second set that didn't cost her ultimately, but it's cost her serve there. And Leylah has broken already at the beginning of this third set, something that she wasn't able to do during the second set, despite the chances that she had on the Laymans serve. So, thank you for all of you that have tuned in. Do hit that like button that you can see just below the word Nottingham. There's a thumbs up. Please do hit it. And there's also the opportunity just below, I think it's where you can see the word watch along. You can see the opportunity to hit subscribe. Please click subscribe and the notification bell, even better. 1, 2, 3, job done. So, Fernandez here serving at 1-love. The poll now, by the way, is at 89% for Leylah. Someone may be having some sympathy for Suzan Laymans' plight. I mean, it's not too depressing, but after winning that second set, she would have liked to have carried in that momentum into the third set, but she wasn't able to do so. Forehand from Laymans. Leylah Fernandez here is defending. She looks to consolidate the break that she just earned, and it's 15 all as she puts that forehand into the net. Indeed, Jake, indeed. 15 all. Fernandez to serve. Goes into the backhand, does she? But I think that clips the net, so it's going to be another first serve here for Leylah Fernandez. Just going to get my battery charger, ladies and gentlemen. I'll still be within earshot, if not eye shot. And I'm back. Did you miss me? 15:30 here on the Leylah Fernandez serve as Suzan Laymans wants to fight back and get back on serve as soon as possible. So where are you going with this serve? You're going to miss by some margin. Second serve, 15:30. Backhand return from Suzan Laymans. Good depth on that backhand. Forehand there from Suzan Laymans. Has forced the error. Leylah on the run. Couldn't deal with it. And it's 15:40. 2 break point opportunities for Suzan Laymans to get immediately back on serve with a rebreak. I see Tiafoe and Evans are still on serve at 4-all. Backhand return from Laymans. Forehand now from Suzan Laymans. Well dealt with there, although I think that went just long from Laymans. So it's 30-40. One of the break points for Leylah has been held. Ah, 30-40. Putin Save has beaten Klugman, by the way. Suzan Laymans here, 30-40. Can she break back immediately? Oh dear, that toss went awry. Can she break back immediately? Yes, she can. She can. It's 1 game all. Well, well, well. That break of serve advantage for Leylah didn't last long. It's a lovely backhand winner down the line, by the way. Yastremska, by the way, has beaten Danilovic. So she fended off those break points at 5-all. And ultimately won that match in straight sets, 6-4, 7-6. These are matches also taking place in Nottingham. And Putin-Saver, beating the Brit Klugman, 6-2, 6-2. Meanwhile, Fernandez and Laymans are into a third set. Leylah Fernandez here on the attack. On the attack. Is that drop shot going to work? It is. Sublime drop shot there from Leylah Fernandez. Oh, that's going to land in from Leylah. I thought that was going to go long, and I think Suzan Laymans was desperately hoping it would. Drop shot there from Leylah, though. That's not going to do any good, is it? Oh, I think Suzan Laymans might have missed that backhand. How did you miss that, Suzan? Oh, dear. The drop shot was so ineffective, let's say. I couldn't say something else. Was so ineffective. It was almost like a moon ball, that drop shot. Laymans had so much time to run it down. She could stop off at the shops and buy some cheese en route. But she messed up the backhand. And it's love 30. And it's going to be love 40 now. 3 break points. Are we going to have 4 breaks in a row? This will be. Leylah was broken at the end of the second set. And they've exchanged breaks already at the beginning of the third. 3 break points, Leylah Fernandez. Into the rally. Laymans on the attack. Not much Leylah can do about that one. 15-40. "36 of you now watching on YouTube, and about half of you will not have subscribed. So I want you to please click subscribe right now if you haven't already done so for this channel." Okay, backhand here from Laymans into the forehand of Leylah Fernandez. Backhand cross-court from Laymans. Staying on that cross-court exchange. Leylah picking it up despite that wonderful depth. Oof, that's going to be close to the line, but it's going to land in. Now it's Laymans' chance to attack. Now it's Laymans' chance to attack, but Leylah stays in the point. They're back to neutral really here, and maybe it's going to be Leylah who can attack a little bit. Suzan defends. Wonderful backhand winner down the line there from Leylah Fernandez. She breaks serve and leads 2-1. And I think it's time for us to take a quick break. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material, such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered. Whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Some things coming up on the channel later on today. We have our doubles review of the French Open with Will and Hanlon. That'll be coming up at 5:45 British summertime or 6:45 Central European time. We also have WTA Weekly with Nick and Mario. That's coming up at 7 p.m. UK, 8 p.m. Central European time. And then tomorrow we will have a watch along for Alex Ayala against Magdalene, which is also taking place in Nottingham. That is coming up tomorrow. We might have a watch along for Qinwen Zheng against Elena Rybakina as well. Let me just see if they've probably not released, I guess, tomorrow's schedule just yet. But we may well have a watch along for that one too. So plenty to look forward to. And to make sure you don't miss any of it, hit subscribe and then click the notification bell so you get notified whenever we go live. Okay, Fernandez here serving at 2-1. She's leading, and she's looking to consolidate the break, something she wasn't able to do before. Oh, Jabeur broke back against Dollarhide in Berlin. So there's something to celebrate if you are an Ons Jabeur fan. She was down 4-2, I remember last time I checked. Straight sets wins for Siniakova and Navarro today, so they move safely through into the round of 16. Mina Andreeva coming up later on against Magdalena Frech. Kenin against Masarova and Badosa against Lys. I think that Badosa-Lys match will be a pretty popular one. Anyway, Fernandez here, 30 love, becomes 40 love. Oh, is that an I Spy break point on my radar for Dan Evans against Tiafoe, 30-40 on the Andy Murray Arena at Queens? And what have you got to tell me, Jake? What have you got to tell me? What development have we seen there? Well, we've seen a development here, by the way. Leylah Fernandez has consolidated for 3-1. But we've also seen a development of pretty big notifications. Notifications, you know what I mean. Pretty big proportions. As Dan Evans gets the break against Frances Tiafoe and will serve for the first set in Queens. Jabeur and Dollarhide are into the tiebreak, with Dollarhide having a mini break advantage already at 3-1. Meanwhile, here in Nottingham, 3-1 is also the scoreline in this third set between Leylah Fernandez and Suzan Laymens. Fernandez broke at the beginning of this third set. Laymans broke back. Fernandez broke again and was also able to ultimately consolidate, hence the 3-1 lead. Leylah here on the defense. She's defending pretty well, though. Can Suzan Laymens deal with this defense? Actually, now probably Fernandez is on the attack. Wow, what a forehand that was. Love 15. Evans spinning his web. Lovely to see, says Jake. Okay, love 15. Forehand return from Leylah. Where's that forehand going from Suzan Laymens? It's going out, and it's going to be love 30. Another break of serve here, and you would think that would be good night, Vienna. Nottingham does seem to be playing a bit quicker than Ilkley from that's just the casual observers, or the eye that I've been watching for the last couple of weeks of tennis in Ilkley and now in Nottingham. Has Layman's gone long there? She has. Love 40. And we now have 3 break points for a 4-1 lead for Leylah Fernandez. Can Dan Evans get over the line in London? He's serving for that first set over Francis Tiafoe. It's 15 all there. Here, it's love 40. Suzan Laymans serving. She goes down the tee, backhand return, forehand from Laymans. Now it's on the forehand of Leylah Fernandez, but she's just missed. I thought when that came off her racket, it was going to be a forehand winner. But to the relief of Suzan Laymans, it missed. 15-40. Oh, Dan Evans, 15-30 as he's trying to serve it out. Serve out the first set. Backhand return from Leylah. Forehand is going to miss, is it? It does from Suzan Laymans. And it's 4-1. Double break advantage. Leylah Fernandez. She's within touching distance of the round of 16 in Nottingham. 4-1 lead now. That's a double break advantage with that forehand error there from Suzan Laymans just going wide. 21 minutes on the clock for this third set. Meanwhile, over in London, we've got Dan Evans serving for the first set, but it's 15-30. Nervy moments for both players in their own way. Dan Evans just got the break at 5-all to lead 6-5. And now he's serving for the first set, but he's 15-30 down, so under pressure. Okay. 30 all, though, for Dan Evans. I'm just watching the points, by the way. I can't see the match because I could switch over, of course, at this change of ends, but yeah, I've got Nottingham on right now. I wonder if I could just very quickly switch over. Don't want Berlin. We want... Yeah, here we go. Here we go. But I might be too late. We'll see. Yeah, I've got 30 all on my screen. Dan Evans serving. Tiafoe decked out in purple. Whilst Evans is in the green. 35 shot rally. 37 shot rally according to my screen, Jake. Game point now. Set point now for Dan Evans. 40-30. Wow. It was a lovely forehand winner to set up set point. We will return to Leylah Fernandez, by the way, against Suzan Laymans as soon as this set here has concluded. $40-30. Where are you going with this serve? You're going down the tee, forehand return, forehand from Dan Evans is big. Volley from Dan Evans. He's going to put it away. Yes, he is. And he wins the first set by 7-5 on the back of a nice volley there at the net. And prior to that, a 37-shot rally that Dan Evans came out on top of. Jake is delighted, as are the British crowd. We will return to Nottingham via Birmingham, where Ons Jabeur has won the first set 7-6 over Dollarhide. She was a breakdown, and she was also a mini breakdown in the tiebreak as well. So really tough first set for Jabeur to win, but win it she has. 7-5 in that tiebreak. And now we can return to Nottingham with Leylah Fernandez. 4-1, 30 all. So Suzan Laymans is a double break down, but she's trying to get one of those breaks back. But now Leylah Fernandez has a game point. So 40-30, Leylah Fernandez. Coming up on the show in the next 24 hours, a doubles review as we reflect on the French Open doubles tournament that saw Paolini and Arani win the title. That'll be coming up in a few hours on this channel, but we'll also have a review of the last 7 days in WTA tennis with Nick and Mario. That'll be coming up at 8 o'clock Central European time or 2 p.m. Eastern time. What a point we're seeing here between Leylah Fernandez and Suzan Laymans. Fernandez does a drop shot, but Laymans runs it down. And this time, unlike the previous drop shot that she couldn't deal with from Leylah, this time she does it with a lovely backhand winner. She's not giving up just yet. It's deuce. And then tomorrow we'll have a watch-along for Alex Ayala against Magdalene. And I think we'll also have a watch-along for Elena Rybakina against Qin Wenjiang, depending on the time of that match. Forehand here from Ayala. Sorry, forehand here from Suzan Laymans. Good attacking play here, though, from Leylah Fernandez. She's on the slice. Wonderful passing shot, though, from Suzan Laymans that Leylah Fernandez can get a racket on, but not enough purchase to get it over the net. And it's going to be a break point for Suzan Laymans. How about that? She's not giving up just yet. Break point, Suzan Laymans. Is she going to get one of these breaks back? Remember, it's a double break deficit that she has. Fernandez goes down the tee, but she's going to miss that first serve. Remember how good she is on the first serves. Backhand return. Backhand from Fernandez. Forehand from Laymans. Good depth on that. And it brings up the error from Leylah Fernandez. And it's 4-2. How about that? Boom, boom, boom. We also had ATP Weekly as well last night, where we reflected, myself and Brenner, on Taylor Fritz beating Alexander Zverev for the Stuttgart title. That's, of course, Taylor's 5th win in a row over Alexander Zverev as he sealed that title. We also reflected on Diallo's win as well at the Libema Open. And we also look forward to Queens and Halle and looked at some bigger picture Wimbledon stuff as well. I think Leylah's just missed that forehand. Yes, she has. So 15 love for Suzan Laymans. First serve is into the net. Second serve then for Leylah to look at here. 4-3 and things would get very interesting. Forehand goes into the net, 30 love. Ooh, Dan Evans has a break point on Tiafoe already at the beginning of the second set. Interesting times over in London. 30 love, Suzan Laymans. Second serve here, though. Good depth on that return from Leylah. Leylah, though, doesn't do enough there. What a passing shot from Suzan Laymans. 40 love. She's loving those passes at the moment. Over in Birmingham, Dollarhide and Jabeur are into the second set, with Dollarhide holding serve at the beginning of that second set. 1 love. Nuno Borges took the first set over Bautista Agut, by the way. 7-6. 8-6 in that tiebreak. We've got a break point for Dan Evans at the beginning of the second set. And Leylah Fernandez, by the way, has won the next point on Suzan Laymans' serve. So it's 40-15 now, Suzan Laymans. And Dan Evans has broken. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? He's now up a set and a break. Am I saying Berlin or Birmingham? Did I say Birmingham? Did I say Birmingham instead of Berlin? All the bees. Poor old Birmingham, losing its 250 status. If I said Birmingham, I meant Berlin. Did I say via? I think I got it right at one point, but I might have also got it wrong at another. Although, of course, Nick could also be referring to the joyous scenes in London where a certain Brummie is doing pretty well. Leylah here, though, from 40 love down, has brought it back to deuce. So I just felt that psychologically, if Laymans was going to hold here, that would have been really tough for Leylah to knuckle down and get over the line. But a double fault from Suzan Laymans. There were some inopportune ones of those earlier on in this match. Double faults being the theme of the day in terms of Tiafoe also double faulting as he faced break point. So Dan Evans is up a set and a break. Deuce. Backhand return from Leylah. Forehand from Suzan Laymans, really. That looked a bit tight or tired. One of the two. That forehand from Suzan Laymans. And we've got a break point. 4 points in a row now for Leylah Fernandez in this game, as she seeks to regain this double break advantage that she did previously hold. But she was down 40 love, or Suzan Laymans may be looking at it, I was up 40 love. And it's going to be a second serve as well. Forehand return. Forehand from Suzan Laymans is pretty good. She's going to come into the net to attack this with a drive volley that she puts away. Deuce. That was a nervy volley with plenty of pressure on it. It probably went a little bit closer to the baseline than she intended. Jaime Faria on the grass. Oh, he's playing a challenger, is he, in Nottingham, am I right? He's threatening a 3-love lead, by the way. Anyway, back to the Nottingham 250. Backhand return. Backhand from Suzan Laymans here. On the slice is the Dutch woman. We're still in the rally here. Good depth from both players. Now they're playing the ball a bit shorter, but Leylah's actually up in the ante by hitting a bit more depth on that. She goes cross-court, but that forehand cross-court from Laymans this time, unlike that supersonic shot that she hit before of a similar nature, this time she just misses on that forehand cross-court, and it's going to be another break point for Leylah Fernandez. How's Dan Evans doing in his pursuit? Trying to consolidate that break he got. Well, he's got a game point for 2-love. Here we have a break point for Leylah Fernandez. They're into the rally, but Leylah's on the defense. And how is Laymans going to deal with that? She deals with it. Nice. Deuce. Saving the break point. For those of you just tuning in, do hit the like button. And if you haven't already done so, hit subscribe. And if you hit subscribe just below the screen, just above my head, you'll see that number tick over. Trying to get to 17K before Wimbledon starts. That means just under 2 weeks, because Wimbledon's on a Monday start, unlike the other 3 slams, which I think all start now on a Sunday. Do all 3? Does New York start on a Sunday? I think it does. I know Australia and the French do. We're going to have another break point here for Leylah Fernandez, by the way. Another break point. Jabeur and Dollarhide are 1-1 in the second set after Jabeur won the first set on a tiebreak. Dan Evans is facing a break point, by the way. He did have a game point. So break point here for Leylah Fernandez for a 5-2 lead. Backhand return, forehand from Suzan Laymens. No lacking in bravery with that forehand, but she errs with that second forehand as she goes wide, and Leylah Fernandez will serve for the match at 5-2. 5-2 she leads. It's a double break advantage once again restored. That's probably the word I'm looking for. In Nottingham at the 250 in the round of 16. She's going to have a little munch on that banana. And after that, she will return to the court to serve for the match, leading 5-2. Hi, Dan. Big up, John, in the chat. Wonderful to have you here, Dan. Your namesake, how is he doing? Well, he saved a break point and he's back to deuce over on the Andy Murray Arena at Queens. The first round clash. Dan Evans took that first set 7-5. And as he was serving it out, by the way, I think he was down 15-30. And he had a 37-point rally to endure that ultimately he won, bringing it back to 30-all. And eventually got over the line with a volley winner to win that first set by 7-5. He's now got a game point. He's also up a break in the second set. Elsewhere at Queens, Borges is up a set on Bautista Agut, the former Wimbledon semi-finalist. Borges, the Portuguese, winning that first set by 8-6. Talking of Portuguese, how is Jaime Faria doing? He is 3-love up on Brandon Holt. How about that? Also in Nottingham at the Challenger. Cool. So, Leylah Fernandez here, serving for the match at 5-2. And it's love 15 on the Leylah serve. So, Fernandez, Laymans, Fernandez serving, love 15, serving for the match at 5-2. She has got the insurance of that double break. So even if one break was to slip through her fingers here, she would have another chance to serve it out. Anyway, love 15, second serve. Ball toss goes awry. Down the tee, forehand return. Into the rally right now on the backhand of Leylah Fernandez. That's a lovely backhand cross court there that Suzan Laymens is just not going to be able to run that one down. Dan Evans has held over in London for a 2-love lead. Okay, Suzan Laymens here on return. She's going to have a second serve of Leylah Fernandez's to look at. It's 15-all. Ooh, lucky Leylah. Lucky Leylah there because it clipped the net, but it also landed in. So it's still a second serve here. Forehand return. Now Leylah on the backhand. Has that landed in? No, I think it's just missed. Just missed. That was close. 15-30. Ladies and gentlemen. Jabeur is up a break on Dollarhide in Berlin, so she leads by a set and a break now, by the way. Google scores appeared to have frozen for whatever reason. Anyway, 15:30 here with Leylah on the defense. But now she's on the attack. Now she's on the attack, but she's not put Suzan Laymans away yet. She's going to have a put away here. Yes, she puts it away. 30 all. Leylah Fernandez here, seeking a place in the round of 16 in Nottingham at the 250. She won the first set by 6-3 before Laymans fought back to win the second 6-4. Leylah went up an early break in this deciding set before Laymans fought back again. Ultimately, though, Fernandez went up a double break before Laymans got one of those breaks back. Fernandez breaks again, and here we are at 30 all, 5-2. It's going to be a second serve for Laymans to look at here at 30 all. Backhand return. Forehand from Leylah is going to go wide, and it's going to be 30-40. 30-40. .30-40 here on the Leylah Fernandez serve. So it's a break point for Suzan Laymans to get one of these breaks back. Suzan's not done yet. First serve is going to hit the net and just go over. So it's going to be another first serve. Backhand return. Backhand from Leylah into the forehand of Suzan Laymans. Forehand now cross court from Leylah Fernandez. She saves the break point. Deuce. Okay, deuce it is. Another ball toss goes awry, though, for the Canadian. Where are you going with this serve? You're going to go into the net. So a second serve for Suzan Laymans to look at here at deuce. She lands this second serve in. It's a run around forehand for Suzan Laymans. Now the backhand from Leylah Fernandez. Good depth and precision there, but really well defended from Suzan Laymans. And what's Fernandez going to do with this backhand? She's going to miss. So it's going to be another break point for Suzan Laymans. 5-2. Leylah here trying to serve it out. Trying to serve this match out. But she's yet to have a break. She's yet to have a match point because she was down 30-40 and now she's down advantage. Laymans here ready to pounce on this return, but it's going to be a second serve as well. Backhand return into the forehand of Leylah Fernandez, but she's going to miss the forehand. And Laymans has broken back, or she's got one of the breaks back anyway. 5-3. So, good news for Suzan Laymans. She's got one of the breaks back. 3-5. Backhand return from Leylah is going to add over the net. It's a net cord that's going to be beneficial for Suzan Laymans. Suzan Laymans then the backhand. This time she does apologize for the net cord. There was a moment earlier on in the match when she didn't apologize, but on this one she does. 3-5, 15 love. Of course, technically, Fernandez could break here to win the match. Leylah's on the attack. Is she going to put this forehand away? She does. Wonderful forehand winner there, though, from Leylah Fernandez for 15 all. First serve goes down the tee and wide. Second serve here for Leylah to look at. It's a good second serve. Skidding off that surface. Leylah couldn't deal with it. 30-15. Jake here keeping us up to date with Dan Evans, who's leading 3-1 in the second set, having won the first set over Francis Tiafoe in Queens. Leylah here on the defense. She can't deal with that one. 40-15. Suzan Laymens, 2 game points for the Dutch woman. She's going to ask that question and make Leylah try and serve it out again. Oh, Jabeur has a double break advantage now on Dollarhide over in Berlin. Laymans here serving 40-15. Backhand return from Leylah goes into the net. So when we return, Leylah Fernandez will try and serve out the match once again.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered. Whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
All things tennis indeed. Leylah Fernandez here serving for the match. Can she get over the line? It's the second time she's had to do this. She wasn't able to serve it out before, but now she's going to have another chance to do so. 5-4 in Nottingham. Round of 32 as she seeks a place in the round of 16. Hi, Nat. By the way, Nat, if you haven't already done so, can you please subscribe to our channel? Leylah Fernandez here on the attack. Ooh, I thought she got away with that one. I think she went in the wrong direction. She took the precautionary route, but Laymans wasn't able to punish her at the net. Leylah Fernandez was at the net, and Laymans on this occasion wasn't able to pass. Thank you, Nat, for subscribing. Be cool. Be like Nat. Hit subscribe. Okay. Fernandez here serving. Going to go out wide. Backhand return. Leylah, though, on the defense there. Crouching down. Now she's on the forehand. On the left-hand forehand that she has, of course. Now it's Laymans' chance to up the ante, perhaps. And Leylah Fernandez nets that slice. So, 15 all. Is Leylah going to not be able to serve it out for the second time? She's already been serving for the match once, and she wasn't able to serve it out. Now, she's going to try and serve it out again. 15 all. How tight are you now? What is your nerve like? Drop shot from Leylah. Drop shot from Leylah. She's going to have the open court. That worked lovely for Leylah Fernandez. 30-15. This drop shot was good, and it helped set her up to win the point with the open court. She's loved that drop shot a few times today. It's not always been successful, but it was there. 30-15, she leads 2 points away from a place in the round of 16 in Nottingham at this WTA 250. First serve, Leylah Fernandez goes into the net. Second serve here for Suzan Laymans to look at. Can she get it back to 30 all, or is she going to face some match points for the first time in this encounter? Backhand return is good. Backhand return is really good. And it's ultimately helped her win the point, 30 all. $30 all now. Nervous moments for both players. Leylah Fernandez has yet to garner a match point. She's been close to getting over the line. She's already served for the match once with a double break advantage. She wasn't able to get over the line then. Can she get over the line now? 30 all. She serves into the backhand of Suzan Laymans. Now it's on the forehand of Laymans with good depth from the Dutch woman. And it's Fernandez who nets on the backhand side. 30-40. We're going to have another break point now for Suzan Laymans. Oh, dear, Leylah. So, 30-40, break point, Suzan Laymans. To level things up at 5 all. She was 5-2 down. What a seesaw match this has been. First serve from Leylah goes into the net. Second serve, 30-40. Where are you going with this second serve? Don't double fault. Backhand return. Forehand from Leylah. Back forehand from Suzan Laymans. Now it's on the backhand of Leylah. Forehand cross court from Laymans. Down the line from Fernandez. Fernandez going cross court this time. Good change of direction there, but lovely upping the pace from Fernandez. Wow, where is this rally going? It's really difficult to tell. Now it's on the backhand down the middle of the court from Suzan Laymans. Suzan Laymans does the slice. Oh, and Fernandez nets on the backhand. What a rally. And it's 5 all. From 5-2, twice Leylah Fernandez has tried to serve this match out. And now we're at 5 all. Wow. If that isn't worth a like on this video, I don't know what is. Are we at 60 likes yet? No, not yet. $57 likes. Oh, well, not bad. Anyways, now it's Laymans here serving. Wow, at 5 all in this deciding set. Wild. Good depth there from Suzan Laymans, is it? Or did that land just out? Let's have a quick look. It landed out, love 15. Wow. How many more twists and turns is this match going to endure? Love 15, Laymans to serve. Backhand, forehand return is going to go long, miss hit and long, 15 all. Okay, 15 all. Where are you going to go with this serve? You are going into the backhand of Leylah Fernandez. Forehand from Laymans. She's on the attack is Laymans. Laymans has got the bit between her teeth right now, but Fernandez is trying to fight back. Maybe Fernandez can up the ante. She gets a bit lucky with the net cord, does Leylah. Now she's on the backhand, but she's going to have to take a few steps back because is that good depth from Suzan Laymans, or has it gone long? It's gone long, 15-30. Dan Evans, 2 points away. What's going on? What is going on? Oh, wow, he's got a double break advantage. I didn't realize that. Dan Evans, wow. Wow. Oh. Match point, Dan Evans, wow. What is going on in the world? Good return here from Leylah Fernandez. She's on the attack. 15-30. She should win this point, and she does. 15-40. Is she going to be able to serve it out again? Third chance, third time of asking. It'll be if she gets the break here at 15-40. Match point has come and gone for Dan Evans, and it's going to be a game point for Frances Tiafoe. But back here, we have Leylah Fernandez receiving 15-40. Is she going to get the break again in this set? And is she going to get the chance to serve it out again in this match? Great defense from Leylah Fernandez. Really good defense. What's going to happen here? Leylah Fernandez is going to get the break. What an epic point that was. She defended so well, and when she had the opportunity to attack, she took it. Ooh, time for a quick break.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material, such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
All things tennis indeed. For those of you just tuning in, hit the like button, and if you haven't already done so, click subscribe and you will see that number tick over above. Are we going to see the number 7 tick over for Leylah Fernandez? She's serving for the match at 6-5. This is the third time she has served for the match. Is she going to get over the line on this occasion? First set went the way of Leylah, 6-3. Laymans, though, got a decisive break at the end of the second set, meaning she won that second set by 6-4. This third set has been a break fest. And like I say, we've seen Leylah Fernandez try and serve it out on 2 separate occasions. But on the 2 occasions, she didn't manage to do so. She's now going to get a third bite at the cherry, and she wins the first point with a forehand winner, 15-love. Where are you going with this serve? You're going into the net. So a second serve for Suzan Laymens to look at. This serve goes into the backhand, which is going to go into the net. 30-love, Leylah Fernandez. Even though she served for the match on 2 separate occasions, and Laymans has also served to stay in the match as well, she has yet to garner 1 single match point. But now she's close. 30-love. 2 points away from the finish line. Where are you going to go with this serve? You're going to go into the backhand of Laymans, but it's going to clip the net. So it's going to be another first serve. Quite a few serves clipping the net today. 30-love. Still a first serve here. Where are you going to go with this first serve? You are going to go clip the net again, but this time it's going to go long. So it's going to be a second serve for Suzan Laymens to look at here. On return in Nottingham at the WTA 250 round of 32 match. Backhand return. Backhand from Leylah going down the middle of the court. Both players right now. Laymans goes long, and she's annoyed at that one. And we've got 3 match points for Leylah Fernandez. These are her first match points in this encounter, and that's particularly surprising because she's actually trying to serve out for the 3rd time. But these are the first times that she's garnered any match points. Can she get it over the line on the first time of asking? 40-love, she leads. Here we go. First serve goes into the net. Second serve for Suzan Laymens to look at. This will be a hell of a hole, though, for her to get out of from here. Fernandez serving. Where are you going with this second serve? You are going to go into the backhand of Laymans. Now it's on the backhand side of Fernandez, who goes long. One match point has come and gone. 40-15. Clenched fist from friend of the show, Suzan Laymans. She saved one match point. Can she save two more? Fernandez here, though, will be desperate to get some first serves in. We know how clinical she can be when she gets those first serves in. 40-15, she leads. The first serve does go in this time. Now we're into the rally. Lovely forehand there. Laymans on the defense. Laymans defends quite well, though. She's still defending. Now we're back into the rally, arguably at neutral. Fernandez up in the ante. Now she's going to have a drive volley, but that's not going to be a winner. We're still in the rally here. Fernandez goes cross court. Forehand from Suzan Laymans is going to go long. It's going to go long, and Leylah Fernandez has won this round of 32 encounter at the WTA 250 in Nottingham. 6-3, 4-6, 7-5. What an epic encounter it was. Let's remind ourselves of how this match panned out. Fernandez was arguably the dominant player in that first set, winning it by 6-3. She had breakpoint opportunities at the beginning of the second set that she wasn't able to take. And then they held serve throughout until they got to 5-4. Laymans was leading and Fernandez was serving to stay in that set. And it was Fernandez who got a bit jittery. She then had to face break points for the first time in that second set. She wasn't able to hold serve. Laymans broke clinically for 6-5, or for 6-4, sorry. But Leylah Fernandez then gets an early break in the deciding set. Laymans breaks back immediately for 1-all, as we see Fernandez looking very happy there, taking some selfies with some fans. 1-all. 2 breaks of serve, but then Fernandez breaks. Then Fernandez holds for 3-1. She's looking in really good nick. Then she gets the double break advantage at 4-1. Laymans gets one of the breaks back. Fernandez breaks again at 5-2. Fernandez leads. She has 2 opportunities to serve it out. She's not able to take either of those serve opportunities to serve it out. On 2 separate occasions, Fernandez was not able to serve it out. However, she gets a third chance to serve it out as she breaks Laymans at 5-all. And serve it out she does, 2-15, and ultimately get through to the round of 16. The stats from this encounter as well, I'm going to share those with you on the screen. Of course, the most important stat of all is that Leylah Fernandez has won this 7-5 in the third. And a pretty epic encounter. But those stats I'm going to share with you on the screen right now from our new Talking Tennis Twitter account at Talking Tennis 22. In the match as a whole, 3 aces from Leylah and 2 from Suzan Laymans. 2 double faults from Leylah Fernandez, but 7 double faults from Suzan Laymans. That'll disappoint the Dutch woman and ultimately did cost her in so many ways. Both getting their first serves in at a healthy percentage, over 60%. Fernandez 64 compared to 68 of Suzan Laymans. But a big difference here was that Leylah was able to win 73% of her first serves compared to just 54% for Suzan Laymans, which on the grass will disappoint her. In fact, Suzan was able to win more points on her second serve than her first. 103 points in total going the way of Leylah Fernandez and 89 from Suzan Laymans does suggest that Leylah was the better player overall. And Leylah had 13 breakpoint opportunities, of which she was able to take 6, while Suzan Laymans taking 5 from 10. So it is Leylah Fernandez who progresses. She's through to the round of the 16. And yeah, Suzan Laymans there. Tough loss for her in 3 sets. But I think it's difficult to say anything other than a deserved win for Leylah Fernandez. Wonderful. Thank you for all of you who tuned in, by the way. And we'll be seeing you all again very soon with loads and loads of live streams still to come. So please do what this video is about to tell you.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.